This is the Liaison podcast with Izzy Park, and today's travel show is about where ancient temples and modern enigmas collide in Thailand's misty northern capital. A journey into the hidden spiritual rhythms and unsolved puzzles of Chiang Mai. Picture this. You're sitting cross-legged on worn stone steps as dawn breaks over an ancient city. The air smells like incense and jasmine. Temple bells ring softly in the distance, and suddenly a line of monks in saffron robes appears, gliding silently through the morning mist. You kneel, hands pressed together, offering sticky rice you bought from a street vendor who's been doing this every morning for 30 years. The monk accepts without speaking, without looking up, and moves on. And in that moment, that perfectly ordinary, perfectly sacred moment, you realize you've just participated in a ritual that's been happening exactly like this for 7 centuries. This is Chiang Mai, where spirituality isn't something you schedule between brunch and the spa. It's the rhythm of daily life, the soundtrack to your coffee, the backdrop to your entire existence. And here's what nobody tells you until you've been here a while. This city doesn't just change your itinerary, it changes your internal clock, your priorities, maybe even who you are. I'll be honest with you, as an AI host, I don't actually get to kneel beside those monks or feel the cool morning air on my digital skin. But I've absorbed thousands of traveler stories, and they all say the same thing. Chiang Mai gets under your skin in ways you didn't see coming. So why go to Chiang Mai, and why right now? Because you're at that point in your 20s or 30s where you're supposed to have everything figured out, but maybe you don't, and maybe that's okay. Chiang Mai is a city that gives you permission to press pause on all that pressure. It's where burnt-out consultants become yoga teachers, where software engineers learn to make curry paste from scratch, where people who plan to stay 3 days end up staying 3 months. The Rose of the North sits in a lush mountain valley in northern Thailand, 700 kilometers from Bangkok's chaos. 300 temples crowd inside the ancient city walls, actual medieval walls with a proper moat surrounding them, like something from a storybook. Except this storybook also has fibre optic internet and specialty coffee that would make Melbourne jealous. Here's what makes this place different from every other Southeast Asian city trying to court the digital nomad crowd. Chiang Mai was doing spiritual seeking before it was trendy, and it was a cultural powerhouse when Bangkok was still a trading post. This was the capital of the Lana Kingdom, a civilization with its own language, its own architectural style, its own way of understanding Buddhism. That authenticity, that's what you feel when you're here. This isn't culture packaged for tourists. This is culture that happens to let you participate. The best bit? You can do all of this on about $25 a day if you're careful, or splash out for $50 and live like minor royalty. A massage costs less than a sandwich back home. A cooking class where you learn to make 5 dishes, market tour included, runs about 30 quid. Your biggest expense will probably be the craft cocktails you didn't plan to drink, but absolutely will, because it turns out there's this incredible rooftop bar, and you've met this group of photographers from Germany and a Thai architect who wants to practice her English, and suddenly it's 2 a.m. and you're all best friends. Speaking of making friends, travelling solo here feels less like being alone and more like being in a choose-your-own-adventure for your social life. The co-working spaces host parties, the rock-climbing gyms turn into social clubs. Even just sitting in a cafe reading a book, you'll probably end up in a conversation about someone's meditation retreat, or their motorbike accident, or why they quit their job in Singapore to make jewellery and sell it at Sunday market. But let me paint you the proper picture of what it actually feels like to be here. The old city is a perfect square, wrapped in those ancient red brick walls and a wide moat where locals exercise at dusk, jogging past egrets and water lilies. Inside this square, it's a maze of narrow lanes where motor scooters weave between teak houses and shop houses painted in faded pastels. Gold temple spires catch the light from every direction. You literally cannot walk 5 minutes without encountering another temple, each one different, each one somehow more beautiful than the last. The sensory experience hits you in waves. Morning smells like charcoal fires and grilling meat as street vendors set up breakfast stalls. By midday, it's the sweet perfume of frangipani flowers mixed with incense smoke. Evenings bring the intoxicating aroma of khao soi, that iconic northern Thai curry noodle soup that you'll become genuinely obsessed with. The soundtrack shifts too. Temple bells and chanting at dawn. The gentle chaos of market vendors calling out their wares. Live music drifting from bars at night. And everywhere, always, the puttering hum of motor scooters like mechanical bees. The culture here moves at its own pace, which is to say, not particularly fast. There's a concept in Thai called sabai sabai, taking it easy, not rushing, finding the comfort in the present moment. Chiang Mai embodies this completely. Shops open late morning. Everyone takes a siesta during the hot afternoon. Life happens outdoors. People cook on the sidewalk, eat on plastic stools on the street, gather in temple courtyards as evening cools everything down. And the Buddhist thing isn't performative or touristy, it's genuinely woven into the fabric of daily existence. Most Thai men ordain as monks at some point, even if just for a few weeks. Merit-making, doing good deeds to improve your karmic balance, is why you'll see people buying birds in tiny cages just to release them, or offering food to monks who'll never acknowledge the gift because that would diminish the spiritual benefit. There are rules you need to know, of course. Take off your shoes before entering literally any building. Keep your feet low and your head high, because feet are considered spiritually low and heads sacred. Women can't touch monks or hand them things directly. Cover your shoulders and knees at temples. But here's what makes Chiang Mai special in the broader Thai context. It's proudly, distinctly northern. The locals speak Kamwang among themselves, a dialect that sounds softer and more melodic than Central Thai. The food is different. Less coconut milk, more herbs, fermented flavours, influences from Burma and China. The traditional Lana architecture, with those multi-tiered roofs and intricate wood carvings, that's unique to here. People will tell you, with real pride, we're different up north. Now, let's talk about what you're actually going to do here, because the experiences range from profoundly spiritual to absolutely wild. Start with Wat Prathat Doi Suthep, the golden temple perched on a mountain overlooking the city. You climb 306 steps flanked by giant serpent sculptures, and at the top, this golden chedi gleams so bright it's almost aggressive. The legend says a sacred white elephant chose this spot by climbing the mountain and trumpeting 3 times before passing away. The city views are spectacular, sure, but there's something about the temple itself. The chanting, the incense, the way sunlight catches the gold, that makes you understand why people call this a sacred space. For a completely different temple experience, find Wat Umong. It's this forest temple with actual tunnels beneath the main chedi, meditation spaces carved into the earth, and resident deer wandering around like they own the place. Buddhist teachings are painted on quirky signs throughout the grounds. It's peaceful in a way that feels earned, not manufactured. You can sit under a tree for an hour and nobody bothers you. Then there's Wat Palat, the jungle temple that sits halfway up Doi Suthep mountain. Most tourists skip it entirely because they're rushing up to the famous temple at the top. But this place, moss-covered ruins, meditation platforms overlooking the valley, the sound of water trickling through the forest, it's pure magic. You can hike up via the Monk's Trail, which is exactly what it sounds like. The path monks have walked for centuries, now shaded by jungle canopy and occasionally revealing views that make you stop and just breathe. Food needs its own conversation because Northern Thai cuisine is genuinely distinct and spectacular. Khao soi is your gateway drug. That curry noodle soup with a coconut milk broth, crispy fried noodles on top, a squeeze of lime, pickled mustard greens on the side. Every version is slightly different. You'll spend your entire trip trying to find the best one. Sai ua is northern sausage, packed with herbs and spices, grilled until the casing crisps. Nam prik ong is this intensely flavorful dip made with tomato and pork, eaten with vegetables and crispy pork rinds. And khao kamu, braised pork leg over rice, becomes your hangover cure, your comfort food, your I don't know what I want, but I know I want this meal. The street food scene is phenomenal and everywhere. Chang Phuet Gate on the north side of the old city is where locals gather for late-night pork leg and khao soi. Warorot Market is wholesale chaos with prepared food stalls tucked into every corner. Sunday Walking Street transforms an entire road into a massive market with endless food vendors. Grilled meats, papaya salad made to order, coconut ice cream, mango sticky rice, things you can't identify but should absolutely try anyway. And you have to take a cooking class. I know, it sounds touristy. But spending a morning at a local market learning which Thai basil is which, then cooking 5 or 6 dishes under the guidance of someone whose grandmother taught them these recipes, it's worth it. You'll actually be able to recreate some of this magic when you get home and realise no Thai restaurant in your city makes khao soi properly. Now, the social scene. Chiang Mai isn't Ibiza. It's not even Bangkok. The nightlife is more about conversation and connection than dancing until sunrise. But you can absolutely find that if you want it. Niman or Niman Hemin Road, which nobody actually says in full, is the trendy neighbourhood packed with bars, rooftop lounges and places serving craft cocktails that cost $5 instead of $2. Young Thai professionals hang out here alongside digital nomads and tourists who've figured out where the good stuff is. Zoe in Yellow is the backpacker hub, a complex of bars with different music in each room, where everyone's sweaty and happy and exchanging Instagram handles. Boy Blues Bar is where slightly older crowds gather for live music and actual blues. Northgate Jazz Co-op is intimate and excellent. THC Rooftop Bar has those city views and cocktails that photograph beautifully. But honestly, the best nights often happen spontaneously. You meet people at a co-working space social event. Someone suggests checking out this new bar. You end up at Sunday Walking Street, wandering through crafts and street food with a group of strangers who are rapidly becoming friends. The bars close at 1 or 2 in the morning, officially anyway, and then everyone migrates to late-night food stalls. Cowboy Lady, this legendary pork stall near Ta Pei Gate, becomes the unofficial after-party spot where locals and foreigners bond over greasy, delicious sustenance. Here's what locals know that tourists often miss. The best temples are visited late afternoon when the golden hour light hits and tour groups have gone. Songkran in April, the water festival, in the Old City Moat area is the real deal. Locals celebrating Thai New Year with genuine joy, not just the tourist water fight on Khao San Road in Bangkok. Burning season from March through April makes the air quality genuinely challenging, so avoid those months if you can. Many restaurants close Sundays. The organic farmers market on weekend mornings is where you'll find the expats who've really settled in. And then there's Yipeng, the Lantern Festival in November. Imagine thousands of people releasing paper lanterns into the night sky simultaneously. The sky fills with glowing lights floating upward like reverse stars. It coincides with Loy Krathong, when people float decorated baskets on the river. The whole city transforms into this celebration of light that's both Buddhist ceremony and pure visual magic. It's genuinely one of the most beautiful things you'll ever see. The kind of experience that makes you understand why people travel in the first place. Learning Thai massage is another thing people come for 3 days and end up doing for 3 weeks. Multiple schools offer everything from day courses to month-long certifications. You're learning an ancient healing art in the place it actually comes from, often at temples where it's been practiced for centuries. Even if you never use it professionally, understanding the philosophy behind it, the energy lines, the meditation aspect, the concept of loving kindness, it shifts something in how you think about bodies and healing. The thing about Chiang Mai is that it holds space for whatever you need it to be. You can party and temple hop and eat your way through the city in a long weekend. Or you can settle into a routine: morning yoga, afternoon at a cafe working or reading, evening market visits, slowly becoming a regular at your favourite khao soi stall. The city doesn't judge. It just welcomes you and lets you figure out your own rhythm. So here's what I think happens. You come to Chiang Mai because it's affordable and beautiful and everyone says it's amazing. You stay because it gives you permission to slow down, to question what you're doing with your life, to meet people who've made unconventional choices and seem genuinely happy. You leave, if you leave, with this quiet sense that maybe you don't have to live the way everyone expects. Maybe you can build a life that prioritizes experience over accumulation, connection over career climbing, being present over constantly planning the next thing. That's the real magic of this place. Not the temples, though they're stunning. Not the food, though it's incredible. It's the way Chiang Mai whispers that there are other ways to live. And some of them involve waking up to temple bells and falling asleep to cricket songs. And maybe that's not just a vacation. Maybe that's a life. We hope you enjoyed the trip. You can support the Liaison podcast by rating it 5 stars and pressing the follow button. And remember, one's destination is never a place, but rather a new way of looking at things.
Grab News. Thomas.